And this guy must be a complete lunatic, otherwise he's got far too much money to spend. A guy called Les Schreiber, he's here from the United States. If there's anyone else think they've travelled further, put their hands up. Right. By the way, I'd like to introduce to you Colin Berwick here, who's playing the organ with us just now. Colin was in the big dish previous to this, and as you can see, he's not quite recovered yet. He's got a lovely dish. And if anyone wants to know, his nickname's Muttley. And on my right here, we've got Chris Bell, who's playing drums with us now. And Chris was playing with Gene Loves Jezebel before this, and it's taken us 6 weeks of rehearsals to get the makeup off him. Right, so now you know how everyone's. Anyone got any questions? We've got a roving mic here, although it looks kind of stuck to the ground. Anybody want to ask anything? Right, up the back there.
Stuart, how long can you see yourself doing this, playing live?
As long as people are interested in what we're doing, we'll be there doing it. They're wearing white hat.
What is your personal opinion of using that time album?
I think some of the songs are classics. The production I just didn't like at all. I think it's all the rough edges are knocked off it. It doesn't really even sound like a band. It's the only thing I regret about the whole about my time with Big Country. If I could change any of it, that would be the thing I would change.
You think it's far too polished?
Yeah, definitely. Much too much. And I think the arrangements are wrong as well.
You don't think like that?
No. Didn't feel that at the time at all, no. It's difficult when you get involved in something like that, because you're so close to it, it's hard to sort of step away and see it for what it is, you know. Right, somebody else answer something.
On the tube? What, these tubes?
The first time or the second time he's got that?
No, the third time. Oh no, a couple of over-enthusiastic cameramen pulled my cables out, so bit of surgery, you know. That's what happened. Yes. No, I've told the guys that... Right, you know how film stars get stuntmen to stand in for them when they do something dangerous? If the guys go back to Moscow, they're going to have a stunt guitar player.
I thought we had one already. Guy in the blue t-shirt up there. The best person to ask that would be Mark, to be quite honest. At the moment, we're at the end of our tether with him. Mark agreed to come back and do the album. In fact, was desperate to come back and do the record. Was full of the usual promises about going on tour and doing this and that, and then decided to go away and play with a whole lot of other people. So we're at the stage now where that sort of commitment isn't any use to us at all. I want to have a solid band of musicians who are involved in what we do constantly and who have the same attitude as us, you know. I think that's what it's all about. I mean, my personal attitude to it is, at the time we made the record, I was more than happy for Mark to be there because he's part of my life, you know, and I really admire the guys playing and stuff. But you just can't go on like that, you know. If you're dedicated to something, you need people around you who are dedicated to the same thing, and that's what we're all about, you know. This is what all this is about. It's not about saying, oh well, I'd much rather be playing with Procol Harum in mid-year. Sorry, but he's a great player anyway. Great player, strange guy. I think what Radio 1 does is up to Radio 1. I think that, personally, I think we've made some great contemporary, original sounding records. If they don't want to play them, that's their loss as far as I'm concerned. I'd like to see it because it may well mean that we'd sell more singles, but there's nothing you can do about that. You know, all you can do is make... Personally, I'm not involved in this just as a career. It's never been a career move for me. I've never sat down and said, well, I want to do this just to be as successful as I possibly can be. I'd love it if we had hit single after hit single and Radio 1 played the records all the time, but that's not how it is, you know, so you can't live in that world. What we have to do is write songs that we are inspired by, play music that we feel personally involved in, and hope that people get the same sort of inspiration and and involvement out of that, you know. I don't know, to be quite honest, we've never been one of these bands that has big, huge arguments and fallouts and stuff. I was very careful at the time when I first started looking for musicians to be in a band with, that I wanted to meet people who shared the same sort of attitudes musically and stuff. It wasn't just a matter of them being able to play well, you know. I think a lot of people put bands together and it tends to be your mates who live in the same town as you, or if it's not that way, then it's musicians who can play really, really well, you know. I was far more interested in people's attitude towards music and stuff, so I think from that point of view, there's a lot of crossover points, you know, so I can't really see us having any major fallouts.
Yes.
Sure, wee brother.
Sorry, can you say that again? I'm a bit mutton. Played the mandolin? Yeah.
Are you any better now?
Nah. No, the double is table tennis bats. You cheeky wee shite, you. What? Stand up. Oh, you're standing up. Sorry? Uh-huh. No, I've cut down on playing the mandolin because I'm not very good at it. No, I used it on one track on the album. Sorry?
I'll tell you what, he's the best mandolin player in this band. I've met a lot of mandolin players in my time and he's one of them. What I liked recently? Recently, I really like EMF. I think they're very funny. I think their singles are great. I liked that Sheriff Fatman single by Carter. I thought that was brilliant. I like, there's an album out just now by a guy called Harry Cohn. It's a single called Walking in Memphis, and I really like that as well. So
I've heard of him.
Is there any musicians that you'd like to work with in any albums that you haven't already worked with that you admire?
Mark Pizicki. No, really. Maybe the odd singer. I'd like to work with Leonard Cohen, as funny as it may seem, just for the fun of it. See, someone just fainted. That was such a bad reflex. Oh my God, Adams has gone mental again. Next album's going to be crap. Going to have all these doomy songs in it. What's that? I've enjoyed the last three we've made. I feel really awkward about it, you know. It's okay if you're doing like live performance stuff, but when you're trying to pretend you're an actor and stuff, I just get really embarrassed by it, you know. I mean, I'm much more comfortable being a musician and a songwriter, you know, than I am being an actor. It's bad enough miming to stuff like on TV and on video and stuff without having to pretend you're something else, you know.